watching this online.
Thank you, sir.
You wouldn't believe the numbers here, Aaron.
We're up to item 11 now. We had a very good briefing on this the other day. I'm going to go out and say, are we all sort of generally happy about this? If I got a thank you, Jake and Tim.
Second.
So, any debate? Oh, you got a question? Far away, Melanie.
I'd like an officer down here, though, then, please.
You might not know the answer, Helen, but we did request
At the DP.
what the content of the letters that went out to the
yes, it's on the Big
residents.
Tin Can.
Okay.
It was posted on the Big Tin Can, and
Right.
it included the line proposal to cancel the Stopbanks, or words to that effect, in the notice for the seminar. So it was made very, very clear that the project would be cancelled.
But cancelled in the 21-31 annual long-term plan. So
That's correct.
yeah, so it may come.
It's not gone forever. Forever. So, is there anyone else got a question?
That's correct.
Mark and Yanni. Mark first, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm sort of picking up on Councillor Coker's line of inquiry when we were in the briefing. Just wanting to make sure that we have consulted the community well enough with this that they are not going to be taken by surprise at this decision. Will you go ahead with it? Don't know who can answer that.
Yes, we have consulted with both the community board and the community groups that are interested in the project. So there are a number of stakeholder groups that are more interested than the general public, and they have all been consulted, yes.
Yanni.
Thank you, and thank you for the work you did on the webinar and the letter. I just wondered if the people that attended the webinar or received the letter were advised that there was a report on the council agenda today where they could seek speaking rights if they had a view on this to express their views. Like, are they aware that we're making the decision today, and were they given the opportunity to talk to us?
Not expressly, no.
They were informed that the matter would be going to council for decision, and that the report would be updated subsequent to that engagement, and that staff would report back to the community board and in other ways to the community after the decision by council.
So, the other question I had was in terms of the report. I just want to kind of get an understanding for this term. Like, this is something that impacts on several local community boards, and the report hasn't gone through the community boards for recommendations or for a formal view. So I was just trying to understand what the process would be around our community boards where there's something of importance being engaged to provide a formal view. Like, what's the kind of protocols that we have around that so that they feel like they've been included in our decision making?
There's a lot of work that has gone towards us along the lines of buying a whole lot of low-lying land. We purchased that. We've spent a small fortune on dredging and a larger fortune on all the sediment storage ponds, which have mitigated so many things. So I think it's pretty clear that.
Sorry, I'm not disagreeing with the staff advice, and I think staff have done an amazing job explaining what I'm concerned about is to understand in terms of decision making, the level of engagement we've had with our local community boards, who have within their terms of reference a requirement to keep an overview of levels of service in their local communities.
So, Councillor Johansson, in section 5.33 of the report, it clearly states that joint briefings were undertaken and when those were undertaken, and there are 1, 2, 3 joint briefings listed there to the community boards. Is that not correct, staff?
Yeah, so we're looking good.
Yeah, sorry, it's around the decision making. So, yeah. No, but like in terms of like decision making, so what sometimes would happen with council reports is the formal report would actually go to the community board for a recommendation or for formal feedback. That was what I was trying to understand. I appreciate that they've had briefings, and I really, commend staff for the work they've done to engage. But I guess the key concern is that we've had an election, we've got new community boards established, and I just want to kind of understand at what point would a project like this go to a community board for a formal view versus just the informal briefings. That was all.
I don't think that's a question for my team to answer. If you're asking, there's a new community board, should we go round the traps again? I think that's really a question for...
You've done your work and you've done it very, very well, I must say. Tim?
I'd venture to say that the older members on the community board should sit down and have a really good bit of a discussion if that's the case. But I mean, I want to thank the staff. It's been...
Thorough.
We've been gone through this a lot, and I've talked to a lot of the community. You have as well, and it's been at the start of this, I was against it, but getting the information, I'm totally in support of it. So I don't know if we could have done more communication.
No, I think we've done that.
If the community or the community boards so desired, would they have an opportunity to come and discuss this with us as part of our annual plan process?
Well, they certainly could. It's always open to them, yes.
Okay, so I've got a mover in Tyler, thank you. And I've got a seconder in... Oh.
We've got a mover and a seconder.
I've got that right, sorry. Sorry. So, any debate?
One of the things that kind of struck me is when you build Stopbanks, it puts pressure on other areas of the system that you're trying to areas that you're trying to mitigate. And I guess for those communities that aren't in my ward, further downstream, there could be serious consequences. We've done a huge amount of work. The retention basins and storage basins, which this council and this team's done, are just outstanding. They are... Yeah, the award-winning. They are, and I'm sure they must have put some chicken in the water, because when we went and had a look at those big tuna cruising along were pretty impressive, I have to say, and I'm sure it was a bit of fresh chicken in one of their mouths, but I'm sure that was just, we were lucky. But there comes a point where you can only talk to the community so much. I think we've really done a great job, and I say the team's done a great job, so thank you very much for what you've done. And look, we are always open to further discussion with our communities, and there will be issues, and who knows what the environment's going to do. It's not going to get better, let's face it, it's only going to get worse, and we're going to have to cross that bridge, so to speak, when it comes.
Just want to sort of remind councillors that we've got some pretty bleak statistics around people feeling like they have influence on the decisions that we make, historic low levels. And I think one of the principles of decision making should be that people know how they can influence it and should be given opportunities to talk to the decision makers. And what I'm concerned about, without taking away from any of the really good work that staff have done around flooding, because I do want to acknowledge the huge amount of time and resources that staff have done to address this very serious flooding issues around the Heathcote River. It has been incredible, has been ongoing, and it has been significant, and it has improved a lot in the local areas. But the principle for me is twofold in terms of this report. One, if we believe in our community boards, it should formally go to community boards for a recommendation, even if it isn't within their delegated decision making. It is absolutely within their terms of reference. And two, that people that are impacted by what is considered a medium decision in terms of significance should actually know when the decision is being made and be given the opportunity to talk directly to those who are making the decision. So, again, no criticism of the work that staff have done, but I just am really concerned about the process on this. I'm happy to support 1, but I won't be supporting 2 and 3 today because I'm concerned about the process.
Okay. So, all good. So I've got a mover and a seconder. So I will put the motion. All those in favour? Aye. Against? On 1.
Yeah, just support 1 and just have my vote recorded.
Yep. Got that, Sam? Carried.
Aaron?
Oh, sorry, Aaron.
What was your question?
What was your vote?
What did you vote?
I said yes. Sorry, did you not? I went yes like that.
Right.
Sorry.
Thank you, man. Righto, so that carried. Yep. So we're up to next one.